Hello, welcome to the Untitled Wrestling Podcast. Sorry about that, mate. Got very alarm there. I am Jay, joined by Aaron and Faye. How are we, guys?
All right. Oh, there's a ghosty in Faye's room anyway. But I'm all right. I'm here again. Instead of making videos, I'm just sort of here these days.
Yeah. just like a substitute teacher.
We wheel you out for special occasions, Aaron. Don't worry, it's special.
Yeah, you're on your holes now, aren't
you? Until next Tuesday. Yeah, I'm off.
There we go.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
So am I. I'm so tired. But yeah, we've got a lot to cover. I take it we've all watched the same wrestling this month because there's been quite a bit.
I haven't caught up with Dynamite this week. No, I've seen Dynamite. I haven't seen Rampage or Collision.
We're not talking about weekly television on this one.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
There's too much shit to talk about. So let's get started then with Double or Nothing because we'll do it chronologically. Do you all watch this?
Yeah.
Sorry, I've just completely zoned out here. Fuck me.
What
the fuck?
Wrong start.
Did you watch Double or Nothing, Aaron?
Yes, I did. I apologize. I will be more in focus for the rest of the episode.
I can't believe you've done this.
We're what, 2 minutes in?
I know. So I'll just kind of like fly through the pre-show as we did last time. So we had the Daddy Ass and the Acclaim versus Gates of Agony and Brian Cage. Daddy Ass and the Acclaim won.
I didn't want them to.
No. Thunder Rosa.
Yeah. Go on, sorry.
Versus, it's all right. Thunder Rosa versus Deonna Purrazzo, and Deonna won by fuckery. What else did we have on the main card? Right. So we opened the show with Roderick Strong and Will Ospreay for the International Championship.
What a fucking banger of an opener, man!
Yeah,
absolute banger.
We weren't expecting this at all, were we, Jay? Like,
I mean, I was because it's Will Ospreay and Roderick Strong.
No, I meant like I wasn't expecting it to be like the opener.
Oh no, the opener. Like, no, I was very shocked that they opened with this, but I think it was the right choice because
a banger to start off with.
Yeah, it wasn't the best match on the card, but it was one of the better matches on the card, and it was a really good opener. And I think it served its purpose being where it was. Ospreay just selling like back murder from Roderick Strong was just outstanding. For anyone who, it felt like for anyone who said that Ospreay doesn't sell, you went, all right, watch this.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
He took some grotty backbreakers. The Undisputed Kingdom interfered a little bit, got ejected eventually, and then we got Roddy going for the end of Heartache, and Ospreay landing on his fucking feet and murdering him with a hidden blade to pick up the win.
That was good.
Yeah, this was really good. Ospreay wins his first belt in AEW. A little bit of story stuff where Ospreay was hesitating to hit a Tiger Driver again. And Don Callis got like really angry at him and yelled at him.
Sowing those seeds, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But now all you hear is all the fucking sweaty AEW marks crying, "Oh, all the brand new signings have all got titles already."
Is that what they sound like?
That's exactly what they sound like.
I think it's I'm kind of glad, but I'm also think it's a weird choice to put this belt on Ospreay.
Yeah, because now after the show of what's happening as well, we're going into
given that he's challenging a Forbidden Door, I think it sets up for him to be handed his first loss at Forbidden Door, and then I think he's going to have a big defense at Wembley. But we'll get into that after.
Double champion, pal.
Nah, not happening, mate.
No,
double champion.
Absolutely not.
He doesn't need it.
I don't care.
Also, I don't think. I think he'll win it at Wembley, and I don't think he's gonna wrestle for that belt at Wembley. So That's my logic. But anyway, I think you can wait a year till he wins it. Give him a good like 6-month run with this belt.
Just win the world title and make everyone cry even more. It'll be great.
It will make me cry.
It'll be great.
I think I think Swervy's losing that belt to a policeman. After the match, Adam Cole come out and he did his devil stuff. He walked out as well, which was very nice. We then got this video package, which was kind of like a first-person shooter of someone walking through a house and then going into a room, and it was all MJF memorabilia. They had like a ripped-up picture of him and Adam Cole. And it felt like this was going to just be a teaser, and then his music hit, and he come out and dressed like Triple H from like the 2002 Raw before the Rumble.
So tan that he was slightly green at the same time.
Nat had so much to say about this tan, you know.
That tan was so bad that it's like he put tan on top of tan on top of tan, and it just went green. He was the color of my top.
The exact phrase I said was MJF's tan is bordering on problematic.
Yeah.
It was very he got the Ron Seal out for this one, like and he looked bigger than he was before he left, which is frightening. But yeah, come out new bit of a new look. Definitely had a new hairline after a trip to Turkey. And he hit Adam Cole with a brainbuster, and then took the devil mask and just threw it in the crowd, and then basically cut this big, some might say, I thought, a little bit too long promo, which kind of resulted in him saying he's back, he's going to be the old MJF, and he's betting on himself, and he revealed a dreadful tattoo on his calf.
It would have been really funny if he'd have had like a WWE tattoo on the other ankle.
I reckon he has. But yeah, it's good to see MJF back. It's felt like he's been sort of missed at times, I think. I don't think he's been, I wouldn't say sorely missed, but I think...
Yeah, I don't think it's suffered, but it's definitely missed.
It's definitely been a noticeable absence.
Yeah.
To be fair, his injury was slightly perfect timing too, because he had the feud with Adam Cole and they were both fucked anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like just...
And it was when his contract was due to come up. But yeah, it was a good comeback. As I say, sometimes he goes on a bit too long. But it all in all, it was a good promo. And then that led us to the Bang Bang Gang versus Death Triangle for the trios titles. Again,
this was very good.
Yeah. It was just Pac trying to murder Jay White.
Yeah.
Pretty much like it was just Pac hunting the Kiwi down. I don't know if that would happen if a Kiwi actually showing up in Newcastle, but I'd love to find out. And then we got the best return of the night, which was Juice Robinson coming out and Juice Robinson somehow looking more feral than he's ever looked in his entire life.
Yeah, he grew his
like
hair.
He's escaped the dog pound.
Too much.
Looks so much more like Gritty.
He does. He pushed Pac off the top rope. Jay White hit a Blade Runner. You can tell this feud isn't over, which is cool. And I think it's probably going to transition into the Guns and Juice versus Death Triangle, and then maybe Jay White going after Billy the Ostrich at All In. Maybe
it would be interesting if they do like the Freebird rule with the trios. To be honest,
they did announce that this week on Rampage.
Right, okay.
They basically covered Juice and all of the belts.
Mm-hmm.
It was incredible. But yeah, I can see them having those three defending the belts, and they've been doing a little bit of teasing of Ospreay and Jay White having a feud. So I think that might be where we're going with that. But we'll see, because again, I think there is someone else. Shaking his head already. Next up, we got Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb. This is a really good match. Did exactly what it needed to do. Not a fan.
Really?
I know.
enjoyed it.
I know you're not big on actual like technical wrestling, and Serena Deeb is very much a technical.
I am inclined to not say how I feel about this match.
Wow.
My lawyer says not to say anything, so
we'll leave it at that then, mate. But yeah, it was a good match. Serena Deeb did like there was a couple of moments where Serena Deeb made you really think that she was going to actually beat Toni.
I think she's very good at that, though. Like
no
she's done that in a couple of matches.
I know no one believed it anyway, but when we were watching it live, like we did jump out our seats like fuck, because we thought it was it. There was the bit where she hit the two detoxes, and I thought that could have done it. Toni ends up winning with an avalanche Storm Zero, followed by a standard Storm Zero just for good measure, and picks up the win.
It reminded me a bit of like Serena's feud with Shida, a bit. I think, like in terms of how the match was.
Yeah, to a degree. I think the thing with Serena is she is very technical. So I think it depends on the person she's working with, like technical ability to kind of go toe to toe with her. Yeah. So like when she had like a match with Deonna Purrazzo, and they both very technical. So it was a good kind of meshing of styles. With Toni, she's a bit more sort of like strong style. And same with Shida. So again, it's a good match. It's a good match of styles, but she's obviously she's gonna just do silly bumps as opposed to like a catch can match, if you will. And yeah, that led us to our next match, which was Orange Cassidy versus that bastard Trent Beretta. How do you feel about this one, Aaron? Did you prefer this?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really care for it. This match.
Fair enough.
I don't know why. Just this rivalry is I'm not feeling it.
It's just sad. That's why. It just makes me upset. That's all it does.
Yeah, Trent come out with a remixed version of the Best Friends music, which is cool. And new gear. I feel like I'm kind of with Aaron on this one. I thought it was a good match, but I feel like because the feud is only just starting. Like this was a little bit too much too soon.
Yeah, it didn't have to be here.
Yeah, like they could have held this off for like closer to
Forbidden
closer to Forbidden Door. They could have even put it on like the Forbidden Door pre-show. I know Orange has got a match with Zack Sabre Jr. on Forbidden Door, so
just bear in mind there was already 9 other matches on this main show.
That's absolutely
it didn't need to be.
Yeah, same with like the only pre-show match I thought probably should have been on the main show, and I would have took this off, would have been Rosa and Deonna, because they've been going back and forth for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
But yeah, for a match that didn't have a great deal of build, it was fine. Orange picks up the win by reversing the triangle choke into a roll up, and Trent then kind of has a bit of a meltdown, and this all kind of led to Don Callis basically bringing Trent into the Don Callis family, which I think is quite a good fit for Trent, because I don't feel he was bad as a heel. I think he's been really good as a heel, but I feel like he needed someone a bit more to kind of...
He was like rudderless, really.
He just needed someone to heat him up a bit more, like a manager.
Yeah.
And that's not...
He's been doing the Lord's work on Twitter.
Yeah, he's been a bastard on Twitter. And it's not to say that Trent's been doing bad mic work or anything. I just feel like Don Callis is the perfect kind of lightning rod to get more heat on Trent.
Mm-hmm.
And even down to the fact that Trent said this week that he's going to get like an AI picture of Don Callis' face on his knee pad, because he doesn't want to pay an artist. Absolute scumbag behavior. Next up, we had Chris Jericho versus Hook versus Shibata for the FTW Championship. I take it none of us want to talk about this too long.
Hold up.
Oh no.
Hold up.
Are you wanting to talk about the Jericho Megaverse, Aaron?
Hold up.
Ah!
No, that's too far. You're taking it too far now, Jay. Come on, play a game.
Go on, mate.
Thank you, Aaron.
This is, for Chris Jericho, this is surprisingly quite a decent match. This is probably his best match he's had in, 2 years?
Well, to be fair, the Hook one was fun until it started going a bit too long.
Yeah, even the Shibata one, was it the week before? It was the same. It was fun, and then it just dragged.
It's mad seeing Shibata in this kind of situation.
Yeah, like 3 completely different people, and Jericho, Hook, and Shibata just on the same ring together. Hi, cool. Yeah. Well done.
Yeah. So basically, it looked like Hook was finally going to win back the belt. A masked man attacked both Shibata and Hook, revealed himself to be Brian Keith. This would have been quite a cool reveal if they hadn't have basically telegraphed it on Rampage.
Yeah.
And then Jericho hits Hook with this is a clever finish as well, I will say. So Brian Keith obviously attacked Shibata more than Hook, and then Jericho hit Hook with the Judas effect, and then decided to go and pin Shibata because he knew Hook would have kicked out of the Judas effect.
Yeah.
So yeah, like psychology wise, Jericho's still great. It's just exposure wise, he's
too much.
Aging like a bottle of Buckfast, not very well.
No, that's very correct, mate.
Yes.
But every now and again, he does have a fun match in him, as we saw here. Next up, speaking of great matches, we had Jon Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita. These two just beat the ever-loving shit out of one another.
I love this because, it's like Mox and Takeshita really took note of what else was on the card and decided to just have a wrestling match.
Yeah, I think as well, because obviously it was a eliminator match. I know there was quite a few people who were kind of shitting on that a little bit. I think it was a good idea because it put a bit more doubt in the fact that Mox could actually win the match.
Not even that. Why would Takeshita warrant a world title match anyway?
Exactly, but
there was no warrant for it to be a world title match.
Yeah, he's been attacking Mox week in, week out. He's not really earned a title match, so give him the opportunity to have a title match because he's been one step ahead of Mox for the foreseeable part of the week. I did think this was one of the best matches on the card. I thought it was awesome.
I enjoyed this immensely.
Yeah, especially because obviously on Collision the night before, Takeshita had injured Mox's arm, so it was a lot of Mox kind of being careful and trying not to overexpose the arm. Eventually, Mox catches Takeshita rolling in the ring with a chair and hits him with a curb stomp, and then kills him with a death rider to pick up the.
After Takeshita put one on him as well.
Yeah, Takeshita did hit Mox with a death rider, which was banging. I popped a little off of that. Yeah, and Mox won. I thought it was brilliant. Next up, we got the TNT Championship. Adam Copeland defending against Malachi Black in a barbed wire steel cage match. And
fun fact on this match. On Wikipedia, it says barbed wire steel cage match for the TNT title. Had Copeland lost, he would have bent the knee and joined the House of Black. Well, he won the match and he still bent his knee, just the wrong way.
No!
You're a fucking monster.
How long have you had that saved up?
He's been sat on that one for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
As soon as I segued to this match, I saw his face light up. That's time.
It was there already.
It was. That's fair. Yeah, this match was. I didn't know what to expect of this. I thought it was going to be good. I didn't think it was going to be this good. Obviously, a lot of smoke and mirrors with certain stuff. Obviously, the House of Black come out, and then Gangrel made the save by
I
coming
love
up.
that.
That was very cool.
Yeah.
Adam Copeland come out to South of Heaven by Slayer, and it said The Brood on the entrance, which is cool. He was kind of like working a little bit more aggressively, throwing him and Malachi like both bust open by the end of the match. As Aaron said, his leg bent the wrong way because he's
a silly bastard. That's why.
He was
jumping 20 feet down to the floor and landing on your feet is never a good fucking.
So he said he did an interview about it today because he had surgery Monday just gone, and he said that as he jumped off, he remembered he was 50 and panicked. And basically,
go for the spot then.
Basically, put his feet out, and then like he landed on his feet, and he thought he'd sprained his ankle. It turns out he actually fractured part of his leg. So that's him probably out for a good couple of months. And we hope he has a speedy recovery. He did manage to finish the match, which was very impressive. Did a couple more spots after it. He hit a spear on Malachi and a couple of other bits
Impaler as well, didn't he?
He did hit the Impaler as well, yeah. Gangrel, as I say, popped out the ring near the end. Did the blood stuff on Brody King.
And then got murdered.
Yeah. Hit a pair of Impalers and then got absolutely wiped out with a black mass. And then, yeah, Copeland hits Malachi with a spear and locks in the crossface with a grindhouse with barbed wire wrapped around him. And Malachi passes out because he cannot lose clean.
Cannot be killed by conventional means.
He cannot be pinned. He cannot submit. He's got to pass out. But yeah, this was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. And I liked all the silly bollocks that went with it as well. Next up, we have got one of the three main events, which was for the TBS Championship. Willow Nightingale defending against Mercedes Moné. Personally, with all the hype they had around Mercedes, I would have said they should have closed the show because they were making that big a deal about it being Mercedes' first match.
Nah, shite.
I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant. I think because of the amount of build they put into it and the amount of hype they surrounded Mercedes with, it should have closed the show.
I loved the Beyonce entrance.
It was
Mercedes
very good
as well, very cool. I thought it was really good. And I felt so sad for Willow.
Yeah, there was a lot of kind of Willow obviously working on Mercedes' ankle because of the first match. A couple of cool callbacks to that. Given that it was Mercedes' first match in almost a year, she didn't look like she'd missed a step at all.
No ring rust.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I'm glad they got sorry, go on.
I was just asking if you didn't enjoy it because he said shite.
No. I said shite to having it in the main event.
Right.
Yeah. This was a good match. It was a good match. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But
I think it was the best women's match.
Oh yeah, it was easily the best women's match. Because it was given this thing that Tony Khan doesn't know about called time.
he doesn't know the concept of it.
Well, it was great. Go on, Faye.
I think it was good that they let Mercedes pin her clean, basically.
Yeah, she had to.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been a more compelling story for Willow to have won this and then Mercedes turn heel. But I did.
But during the match, this is a weird thing, though, because during the match she was pretty
working
much the heel, working heel, and then
she's literally in matches.
Literally 3 days later on fucking Dynamite, she's like the biggest baby face in the company. It's like, what the fuck you did?
Yeah, I think the thing with Mercedes is she's just naturally really good at being a heel. She's so, and even the build up, she was the heel, Willow was the baby face, and it made more sense for me to have had Willow win, and then Mercedes beat her up after the match, and then what happened? Mm.
I love this this thing of like Willow being left with absolutely nothing at the end of it. Like she lost her belt,
Yeah.
she lost her friends, like she's got nothing. It was a nice little it really made you root for her, even in the face of like everyone being made up for Mercedes.
Well, let's get to that because obviously after the match, Stokely starts yelling at Willow for like letting them down, and Stat like shoves him out the ring, and then as like shoves him over in the ring, and then as Stat's like helping Willow to the back, she does the old Tommaso Ciampa Johnny Gargano and takes Willow's head clean off.
Yeah.
And
she hit that ramp hard as well.
She did. She did. Yeah, and now I suppose that at least coming out of this match, at least they've kind of got an idea for what they're doing with Stat and what they're doing with Willow, as opposed to just, well, what do we do now? Yeah, and the only criticism I did have with this was obviously that pretty much the second that they did it, like it was Mercedes is celebrating on the stage, then they go to this, and then like the second that Stat hit the clothesline, and then post, and then you've got like, and now we're onto something else. It's like, give it
no
like
room
another,
to sink it in.
Yeah, give it like another like 30 seconds to a minute to just sink in, and like that's all they needed. It didn't need like that much time to do it.
It's almost like they were running out of time and they had 10 matches on the main card.
I know, right, mate? Well, let's get to the next one then, because I thought this was fantastic as well, which was Swerve versus Christian Cage.
This was so good.
Yeah, obviously Christian comes out with the patriarchy. They all pretty quickly end up getting ejected from ringside after like just being assholes. Obviously Nick and Killswitch do try and get involved again a little bit later on.
You are missing out Swerve's entrance though.
I am Swerve.
The Warriors entrance.
Dressed as one of the Warriors. That was very cool. Prince Nana had the bottles on his hand.
Yeah.
The Warriors come out and play. You'd love to see it. It also got what I thought was the spot of the night, which was that reversal from the like the spear into the house call.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's a toss up between that and the hidden blade spot from the Fairs match, but two very, very well timed spots.
Swerve and Osprey's going to be insane, isn't
it? It is. I've seen them wrestle before, and they don't fuck around. Sorry, I should say I've seen them wrestle each other before. I've seen them wrestle before. But yeah. And Swerve picks up the win with the Swerve Stomp after hitting the house call. And yeah, it was a really good match. I think that Christian has been absolutely killing it as like that sort of foil for like face champions. Obviously, he had the really good feud with Adam Copeland, then he went into this little mini feud with Swerve. I can't wait to see what he does next, because obviously he is just with the Elite.
He's just got to watch himself though, because he's doing what Chris Jericho done at the start of AEW, where he's the guy. He's a legend that's the main heel essentially. We don't want him to turn into Chris Jericho.
I think him actually wrestling though, because he wrestles sparingly, because obviously he's got like his goons to do his work for him.
Yeah.
So because obviously he has like Killswitch and Nick Wayne doing like his dirty work, it means when he does actually have a match, it does mean something, and it's how Chris Jericho should be getting used, where he doesn't wrestle that often, but when he does, he'll have a good enough match that it's like, oh yeah, that's why they've got this guy like who's in his 50s who's still wrestling every now and again.
Yeah.
But obviously as well, Christian Cage, I think, is a much better wrestler than Chris Jericho, so there is that too. And yeah, then when we go to the closing match, the main event, which was Anarchy in the Arena, and yes,
it's good shit.
It was the good shit.
It was chaos, wasn't it?
My favorite part of this was the fact that Okada came out in his full gear and he didn't have a fucking clue what he'd signed up for.
No.
He was trying to wrestle a wrestling match. Every time he did something with a weapon, he looked like dead nervous that he was going to kill the guy. Bless him. So yeah, it starts off with everyone making their entrances. Darby comes down and his music keeps playing. And he's got a face mask with tacks on because he's got a broken nose. Matthew Jackson.
Don't worry about that. It's fine.
That's fine. Darby sure as shit wasn't. Matthew Jackson says, no, play our music. So then that starts playing, and Bryan Danielson grabs the mic and just shouts, turn this shit off, play the greatest theme ever, and the final countdown plays. And one of my favorite things in this match was when they got that shot of Darby hitting the coffin drop as the crowd just screamed, it's the final countdown.
Yeah.
It was fucking awesome. It was so well
And then
done.
the bit where he's like beating up Okada and then he stops to like sing It's the Final Countdown with the crowd is so good.
Bryan Danielson feels like he didn't do a great deal in this match, but whenever he did, he was fucking incredible.
Yeah, it meant something, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of like the underlying story of this match was Jack Perry and Darby just brawling everywhere. Did have Dax with his new tights on, looking like Tomohiro Ishii as well, brawling.
It was really confusing.
From behind, he looked so much like Tomohiro Ishii. He obviously explained why he's got those tights on and like with the padded weight belt because he had that hematoma in his back. But Jesus, yeah, there's a bit where Darby tries to drown Jack Perry in an ice bucket. Then all of a sudden it escalates to Jack Perry hitting him with a bus.
A second bus.
Yeah. Okada had the sign which said Rainmaker Boulevard and and then hit like Danielson with a crossbody with it on his chest. Seeing what else. Dax was pissing blood by the end of it.
So was Nick Jackson.
As is tradition. And Nick Jackson was, yeah.
Sorry, Nicholas Jackson.
Nicholas.
Okada had the thumbtack arm brace as well, so you could do the Rainmakers.
Okada did the thumbtack covered Rainmaker on Cash. And then
the exploding chair.
Yeah, we did get I forgot about the exploding chair, fucking hell.
And then the thumbtack.
There was no build up for it or anything.
No.
It just
happened.
I was like, oh shit.
That's like when he did the super kick last year, though, where he just super kicked, his foot exploded. And then we had Jack Perry grabbing Tony Khan and bringing him out on the stage, and Darby Allin set him on fire with a flamethrower, which was fucking mental.
He was like properly on fire as well. Like I know he had that stuff on, but like
it looked like it went up to his leg as well. Sorry, his arm as well. And I was like, "Oh fucking hell!" I don't think that was meant to happen. But
all the hairspray he uses.
I think that's why he went in the ice bucket. To be fair, then Darby got hung upside down in the ring by the Elite, and the
Young Bucks. He was up there for ages as well.
Yeah, Young Bucks took his mask off and hit a double super kick with the Reebok pumps with thumbtacks on the bottom into Darby's broken nose.
But they actually did hit his nose, and it was awful. It was awful. You could see him holding it. You could see him just hanging there, holding his nose in place because it was fucked.
And you've got to think about the fact that like you're upside down as well, so all the blood is not going to leave in your body.
Absolutely foul. So then you're hanging yourself, oh fuck, go and somebody just get him down there. He's struggling. Come on.
He's hanging there for so long.
This is the only time I'm ever feeling sorry for Darby Allin. Just get him down, I beg.
And Bryan Danielson comes in, and instead of helping Darby, Busaiku knees Okada, and then takes a thumbtack Reebok pump and hits both the Young Bucks with it.
I say Danielson was in that ring so long. Could he not have assisted fucking Darby getting dinner or something?
I know, right? This actually does play into the finish. So obviously, Danielson tries to pull Darby down, and Jack Perry appears and hits the his version of the Busai Huni, which he calls the glass jaw, onto Bryan Danielson to pick up the win. Big moment for Jack Perry there, pinning Bryan Danielson. I feel like he needed to be the person getting the pin in this match. I didn't think it would be Danielson he'd be pinning. So I was like, wow,
It was like Yuta pinning Omega last year.
It was, yeah. I feel like he's going to kind of take that momentum now going forward when he's TNT champion. Because that's what's coming next by the looks of things.
100%. It'll be fun to see them both as like heels though, like in terms of like where they were when they had that Buried Alive. The last match was like the Buried Alive match, wasn't it?
Who?
Oh, no, I'm thinking of I'm thinking of the Owen.
Jack and Christian.
Yeah. Can we revisit that actually? I want that. That's what I want.
I wanted them to join the patriarchy until like obviously, but they'll do something because Christian and the patriarchy are like aligned with the elite, aren't they?
Yeah.
So they will do something with it. But yeah, that was Double or Nothing. Mark out of 10. Anyone?
9.
So 8.
I was gonna say an 8. I think when it was good, it was brilliant. A little bit too long. There was a couple of things with timing that was like, eh. I personally would have held off on putting Orange and Trent on the card.
The Orange and Trent match didn't need to be there. The women's world title match didn't need to be there.
Yeah, I might go an 8.5 actually because it wasn't as good as Dynasty, and I put Dynasty at a 9.
Yeah, I thought Dynasty was much better. Not that it was a bad show. It was just It was just a great show as opposed to an exceptional show.
It just felt like there was bits in it for me, so it's getting more than an 8.
That's absolutely fair. I mean, we all love Hangman Jack Perry, so that's why we were all happy to see him beat Bryan Danielson.
Clearly that was clearly the reason I was getting it.
Yeah, and you know what else makes you happy, Faye?
No.
Your boy Abyss.
Oh, here we go. Here we
go. It's time for some TNFaye.
No.
So let me get my notes up for this.
This is my first TNFaye. Jesus Christ.
And Aaron, I have held off on a little bit of a doozy just for you, mate.
Oh, great.
I think you'll have seen this. You should have. Do you remember when Abyss had a brother introduced?
Yes. Judas Messiah or something like that.
Judas Messias, who would go on to be
that's the one.
Very awesome Mil Muertes in Lucha Underground, as amongst other things. You know where he wasn't awesome though? In TNA.
Spewing blood out his mouth constantly.
Yeah.
And he had no eyeballs either.
What?
He didn't. He had no pupils or irises. He had like contacts.
Oh, I was like, how does he not have eyes?
No, he
made that sound way worse than what it was.
I thought this was what TNFaye was all about. Just shocked Faye in the worst way possible.
So just this guy had no eyes. What?
So this story kind of like is what everyone sort of credits to Abyss, going from being a believable, credible monster to being absolutely fucking destroyed.
Was it not the Captain Planet thing?
Oh no, that he was world champion before that.
This was before Captain Planet. Abyss went from world champion at the start of this. To then he lost. Basically, he lost a world title match against Kurt Angle by submission, and his father James Mitchell basically was furious by this. And at the end of the match, Judas Messias pulls Abyss under the ring.
Messias.
Yeah, that's Abyss's brother. He comes up through the ring and he pulls Abyss down. And when he comes up as well, like there's a really cool shot, to be fair, where it's just his head that comes up and he's got blood pouring out his mouth.
Oh, no eyes.
No eyes.
No eyes. And also he was in Wrestling Society X and he was a burn victim, so he's got the whole gamut of shit. No wonder they put a mask on him in Lucha Underground.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so basically, they say that James Mitchell says he's gonna reveal Abyss's deepest, darkest secret, and it's
Oh,
that he's
fucking hell.
Abyss's real dad. That's why he's father James Mitchell, and that Judas Macias was his half brother. Does that sound familiar to you, Faye?
No, I've never heard of that in my life,
You
ever.
never heard of
No.
a wrestling story that did that event? No,
No,
me either.
no.
Nothing could reach the heights of this. I'm pretty sure this was booked by Bruce Pritchard as well, which shows he's a bit of a one-trick pony.
That was what, 2006?
2007, I think.
7? Fuck me.
Maybe 2008.
No, wasn't that late? Surely.
Kurt
So
Angle.
it was Kurt Angle, aye. So it was because it was barbed wire massacre.
Oh,
Who?
well, it was, yeah. So
Yeah.
this basically resulted in Abyss and Judas Macias having a barbed wire massacre match, which was very good. To be fair, that was like the only good thing of the feud, with all the spooky bollocks surrounding it, and that was it. They just completely written Judas Macias off TV after that without any explanation.
He returned to his home planet to get new eyes.
He
Like,
went back to Mexico to get a new
Pupils.
spooky
yeah,
pupils.
and a mask.
Yeah, a spooky mask, and looked like he took a absolute king's ransom of steroids.
He got a tattoo out of it too in Mexico.
He did. Got
Yeah.
a
Got
lot
a
of
tattoo of steroids.
no. But yeah, this basically
Really? I was like, what did he get a tattoo of?
this basically led to Abyss going from like being like a genuine like monster heel to being some like bungling idiot who was talking about how he's got friends, and just decided that one of the ring announce like backstage interviews was his girlfriend, and she was like, it starts off with going, "I'm not your girlfriend," and then she's like, "Oh, I feel sorry for him," but she never says he is. But it's just a bit weird.
That's uncomfortable.
It's a bit odd. And yeah, basically it went from being really good monster who at one point WWE approached to have wrestled The Undertaker at WrestleMania to a bumbling idiot who has Hulk Hogan's Captain Planet ring, and the bane of Faye's life. But at least we have plenty of Abyss stories for you, mate.
Oh yeah, Abyss is fucking.
Aaron,
Yes?
someone came to Nats to watch Double or Nothing, right? And
Oh,
before we were watching it, said, "Oh, I used to love TNA. Let's watch some Abyss." And like my life just flashed before my eyes, and Nat was like, "No, she's got fucking PTSD."
I wasn't there. I never met this person, and before, and I had no influence in it whatsoever. It was just
It was like so cursed.
it was just happenstance, if you will.
Yeah.
Which is a Fozzy album, but never mind. Anyway, let's talk about.
I feel sorry for you that you know what a Fozzy album is, because I fucking don't.
I mean, one of them's literally called Judas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Inventive, Judas Macias.
And the only reason I know one's called Happenstance is because when Chris Jericho released it, he was basically playing songs off it on Sunday Night Heat every week, and it didn't get annoying whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah, but he didn't go on tour with them as much then because Vince wouldn't let him, which was upsetting. Speaking of Vince McMahon, actually, let's segue into this story because this is quite a big one, which has obviously massive ramifications in that the Vince McMahon Janelle Grant lawsuit has been paused by the US Department of Justice. This means that they are looking to press charges, which means Vince is probably going to jail.
That's insane.
Dirty Diddler.
Yeah.
It does. They have put a 6-month pause on the case, in which point on the 11th of December they'll allow Janelle Grant to basically re-pursue her legal, like her lawsuit against him and the WWE as well, and John Laurinaitis. But yeah, this is huge because it means that there's a federal investigation going, and hopefully Vince gets the prison time he deserves. And then obviously Janelle Grant gets her day in court with that monster. But yeah, just wanted to make sure we did cover that because it's obviously big and thought of with the victim and all the people who've been affected by this. Because
so those scripted moments with Stacey Keibler and Trish Stratus and all that,
and Stephanie McMahon as well.
Stephanie McMahon herself, yep. They were not just fantasies.
Well, yeah, there's some horror stories that have come out of that. Just there. We won't go into it just because obviously there's a lot of people who've been victims in this and it ain't nice. But I thought it was obviously important that we did touch on it. Let's talk about free agents because there's a lot of that going on at the moment, isn't there? So first of all, Becky Lynch's WWE contract has expired, and she has said she's going on a sabbatical. She didn't say where she's going after that. She just said taking some time away from wrestling. She's probably going to become the highest paid women's wrestler on the planet when she decides to.
For
look
still only $500,000.
I don't know. I think it all depends because obviously you look at like the merch sales she was doing at like a height before she before she went away to have the baby, and she was like one of their top merch movers. So I'd say that she's probably going to get a big deal.
She'll be back at the Rumble. She'll win the Rumble. She'll be at Mania. Don't worry.
We'll see.
We all know how it goes.
I mean, the thing is, because she's a free agent, like Tony Khan could just like literally just throw a dump truck of money at her, and she could go, "Yeah, all right, I'll take that silly payday." So, who knows? But yeah, she's probably likely to re-sign. Someone else who did, it looks like they have re-signed is Chad Gable. His contract expired on Friday the 9th of June. Friday the 9th of June, Friday the 8th of June. Basically, Friday just gone.
Well, I know on Saturday when I'm going for like 3 beers in one sitting. The Hydro. We've already seen Chad Gable and Sami Zayn. I don't want to see it again.
Could be him getting written off TV, mate. You don't know. Yeah, because he's kind of working into his because he's working into his like his free agency. It looks like he's probably verbally agreed to resign, or he's on a paper appearance deal. Someone who looks like they haven't resigned is Ricochet. He went as far as pretty much saying that he wasn't like resigning. Got written off TV this week by the looks of things. Although there is a bit of talk that he might, because his contract's believed to go into the middle of July, they might end up having like a blow-off match for him to get murdered again before he goes off. To probably wrestle Will Ospreay at Wembley.
I was going to say, give me Ricochet and Ospreay one more time. I mean, beg.
Will Ospreay's been lobbying for that match like he's been lobbying for fucking, like, I don't know, the presidency or some shit.
Good. Good.
He's been going on about it. It's as if he found out Ricochet's contract was up. He found out Ricochet was thinking of leaving. And then he's been like a fucking dog with a bone. Just like, he's brought it up in so many interviews. He posted a picture of them doing the handshake after the infamous like Best of the Super Juniors match. I think it was on the anniversary of that match as well. He posted that. He's been implying a lot, and I think as well, like if you're gonna have a big match for Will Ospreay at Wembley, doing this for the International Championship just makes sense.
And Swerve's gunning for him as well. He was like,
Swerve is gunning for him. Said, "You come here, I'm going to give you hell." I think me and Tasty were talking about this today. I think I'd prefer Ricochet to go to New Japan and just show up periodically in AEW. Purely because I think New Japan actually needs him more. Like their junior heavyweight division's like fucking so stagnant at the moment.
Yeah.
We don't need a future of show as the IWGP Junior. No one needs that. When we can have little Trevor.
Master Watto, fuck me.
Master Wato. Master Wato isn't real, mate. He doesn't count. And then you've got like Ishimori, Despy, and Hiromu who are all like pushing 40.
Despy doing Lord's work at the minute. Oh.
Despy did do a match with Pheromones the other day, which was very nice. It was just silly bollocks him wrestling in a paisley jockstrap.
Good.
Because why not?
It's what I like to see.
He's the sluttiest luchador.
Yeah.
He's so slutty. Next up, we've got from AEW side, Mark Henry and Jake Hager, both have left AEW. I think Arn Anderson was another one, and Paige Van Zant as well.
One, Paige Van Zant was literally in Misfits boxing last weekend, and she lost to an OnlyFans woman, so well done on that.
Oh, cool.
She drew, but she also got knocked down in the first round by her, so well done.
Was this like the same boxing that the Paul brothers and KSI?
It's the KSI one. Yeah.
So it's worked. Right, okay.
Yeah. Also, Mark Henry.
At least she got the experience of wrestling and, to do the fake boxing.
And Mark Henry also showed up in MLW last weekend at Battle Riot.
He did, at the Battle Riot with Teddy Long.
Me and Ryan watched it live.
Was it a good show?
It was okay. For the people in it was okay.
Yeah.
You've got to bear in mind MLW is a bit of a cesspool of talent.
It's a strange old place, isn't it?
Yeah.
To say the least.
When your biggest pop of the night is fucking Insane Clown Posse, that's when you can.
I mean, you did get that nice little bit of Minoru Suzuki slapping around Violent J, which was fun.
That is true. I did pop for it. I was enjoying it.
And Suzuki and Chris Danger as well. I enjoyed that. That made me happy as someone who enjoys his YouTube stuff. And finally, because I missed his name out by mistake, Dijak as well. His contract is due up, and Mansoor and Mason Madden, the former Maximum Male models, have literally been tweeting him daily saying, "Leave."
Hard times.
I'd like to see Dijak back on the Indies because he's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of them. He's basically been doing what Drew does on Twitter, but obviously Drew's a bigger star, and you'd argue is probably doing it a little bit better than Dijak.
Dijak's been doing it for years. It's not just a new thing either.
Oh, really?
He's been doing it since NXT.
Ratioing people for as long as he can.
Yeah, he's been doing it for years. Since we were doing the NXT podcast, he's been doing it.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. God, remember the NXT podcast, mate?
The memories.
Gonna bring it back. No.
Oh, every time I'm on a podcast, someone has to bring up the NXT. To be fair,
it was great.
It was me this time, but
it was. Also, while we're on the talk of contracts, there is apparently, according to Fightful Select, this is literally just broke. The grizzled young veterans are in talks with AEW about signing a contract.
Oh my god!
So yeah, that'd be nice. Book grizzled young veterans versus fucking Machine Guns, you coward.
Courtney literally had a seminar with them like a month ago.
Yeah, me and Faye are going to their debut show for Burning Heart next week.
Fair.
Which I'm looking forward to. I don't know who they're wrestling because they were meant to wrestle Subculture, weren't they?
Yeah.
And both of them got injured this weekend.
Yeah. And now they're facing people who haven't tagged together before. Because my instant thing was like, oh my god, just give them to the Quinlans. Or like Kings of the North.
Kings of the North, who I'd go for personally, just because it's probably going to be the main event.
Apparently, it's people who haven't teamed together. So
very interesting. I wonder who's not been announced for that card and that we don't know about. Let's see. Let's move on to a little bit of UK talent as well. Friend of the podcast, Tate Mayfair, has made his AEW debut last week.
Tate's greatness.
Got fucked over by Danny Garcia because he had jet lag. Run it back at Wembley, you coward.
Do it.
Do Tate versus Daniel Garcia on the
pre-show.
Show.
Yes.
I hope Tate politics his ass off for that. Right. And let's move on. Also, one last bit of signing stuff because that's pretty much all the news we've got news-wise, other than shows that are coming up, is Alicia Atu, who formerly was in MLW, has been in AEW, is also notably MJF's missus, has been signed to AEW as a backstage interviewer. So that's nice.
It was part of MJF's new contract.
It could have been, to be fair. There's every possibility. It
probably is.
Oh my god!
Imagine he's just sat there like, Mox has got Renee.
Yeah.
You signed John TV for Taya Valkyrie. What the fuck, guys?
And it's so funny because like Renee never interviews Mox either, like ever.
No, the only time she has was when didn't Mox murder somebody? Oh, it was when Mox nearly murdered Eddie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was part of the whole Eddie thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of John Moxley, let's talk about something that I completely forgot about was happening, which Faye reminded me of, which is Bloodsport Bushido in
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport Bushido. I got my SH wrong there. So yeah, this is going to be happening on the 22nd of July in Japan. It is on Triller. It is £20 on Triller. I'm probably going to end up caving and buying it because I really want to see it. And yeah, it's got a really good card, so I'll just quickly run through it. So we've got Funimori Abe versus Izuka, sorry. Funimori Abe was on Bloodsport WrestleMania weekend, had a really good showing against his partner who was wrestling later on the show. Then there is a Bloodsport Bushido tournament. So the participants' first matches Hikaru Sato versus Hideki Suzuki, and second one is Eric Hammer, who's that guy who looks like the big fella from Indiana Jones who gets thrown into the plane. And only wrestles Bloodsport apparently, against Takuya Nomura. Then we've got Konami versus Maya Fukuda. No idea who either of them are. Davey Boy Smith Jr. versus Masakatsu Funaki. Santino Morella versus Kazuchi Sakuraba. That'll be wild. Rampage Jackson versus Hideki Sakine. Rampage Jackson. Oh boy, when we get to the
TNFaye, baby.
When we get to Rampage Jackson and TNA. Oh god.
No.
I can't wait for that one. I forgot all about that. I'm glad I saw that. I'm going to make sure that's the next month's one.
Oh no, what have I done?
We've got the Grandad versus Minoru Suzuki versus Timothy Thatcher, which
that's going to be so good.
That's a little bit of me. And we've got a rematch of Josh Barnett priming the living shit out of John Moxley. So yeah, that'll be fun. I'll be honest, I'm literally, as soon as they announced Suzuki and Thatcher, I was like, yeah, I'm here for it.
And they just announced matches for the other Bloodsport as well, haven't they?
They've announced one so far, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
They've announced people who are going to be on. They have announced Bloodsport 11, which is happening in July. So far, they've
weekend it is.
Oh, is it? Fuck, is that August then?
I think it's August, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they've got Masha Slamovich on there, Speedball's on there, and they've just announced Santana versus Homicide as well, which will be pretty fun. Mm-hmm. I imagine Josh Barnett will be on there as well because it's Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. Right, and we've got a little bit of time left to talk about two of the shows that happened. So first of all, I'm literally going to fly through the results of this because I didn't really watch much of it. Did either of you watch any of it?
Nope.
Or is that on the catch-up list?
Yeah.
Yeah. So New Japan Dominion. So first of all, we had Naito defeating Callum Newman, which warms my heart because Callum Newman is fucking awesome. We had TMDK's Kosei Vegeta, Robbie Eagles, and Zack Sabre Jr. defeating the War Dogs and LJ Cleary, which again warms my heart because LJ Cleary's a TNT alum.
Yeah.
Then we had the Great Khan defeating Yuya Uemura for the King of Pro Wrestling after apparently he was hospitalized overnight on a drip.
Wow.
And then he came out, he discharged himself from hospital to win the belt because he's an absolute fucking mad lad. We had LIJ, Bushi, Yota Tsuji, and Takahashi defeating Tanahashi, Oleg Bolton, and Yano for the 6-man tag championships. Which
it's about time, like, isn't it?
I mean, they've only just won them.
I feel like Tanahashi.
Tanahashi had them with Okada.
I was about to say, I feel like Tanahashi's had those belts forever.
Tanahashi has had those
presidential
belts forever, but he won them with that pairing around April. Then we had Jeff Cobb successfully defending the TV championship against Tomohiro Ishii.
To be fair with those titles, was it not because Okada left to retire the belts?
It was,
and then
Okada
they just won
left.
them again with a different team.
Pretty much, Tanahashi won them with a different team.
Yeah.
Ishii said he didn't want to tag with anyone else because Okada wasn't there, which tells you what Ishii thinks about Tanahashi. So Jeff Cobb and Ishii, if you haven't seen it, Ishii hit a fucking Frankenstein on Jeff Cobb in this match, which words that I never thought would leave my mouth ever.
Yeah, I'm trying to picture that in my head, and like it's not computing.
Just have a look on Twitter; it'll be like one of the first things that comes up. Next,
and then Jeff Cobb challenged anyone in AEW as well.
He did make an open challenge to anyone in AEW, and Butcher was the first person who's like, "I'll fucking murder Jeff Cobb," which I think they should just do Meat Madness for the TV title.
Yeah.
But Big Butch in there, get Brody King in there, get Claudio in there, Lance Archer, Ishii again, why not? Shingo, he's a big lad. Hanare, he's a big lad. Just all the big lads.
Maybe just throw Orange in there just to be like the one that like gets like squashed.
Orange is against Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh, maybe Danny then. Throw Danny in there.
Daniel Garcia is just as like the twink who gets murdered.
Yeah, you need one.
Do you need one? Sorry, Aaron, I thought you were going to say something.
No, I'm sorry. No.
I paused because you were about to like say something. Next up, we had IWGP Tag Team and New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team Championships all on the line in a 4-way. So TMDK defeated Chase Owens and Kenta, God and Bishamon to pick up both sets of belts, which you'll love to see because TMDK are fucking awesome. Yeah. And Chase Owens and Kenta should not be holding tag team titles in any year.
No.
Let alone the year of our Lord 2024.
No.
Also, Hikuleu looks like he left New Japan after this match and he's going to WWE to join his brothers, which, yeah, the bloodline keeps getting bigger and midder. And what else? We had Shingo and Hanare going to a double count out draw for the Never Openweight title match. Apparently, this was fucking nuts. And John Moxley defeated Evil, thankfully, in a deathmatch lumberjack.
There is light
match
in the world.
After the match, Naito come out and challenged Mox for a rematch for the title at Forbidden Door. And see,
Mox got triple power bombed as well.
He did.
The more the years change, New Japan still stays the same.
Yeah,
it sure does.
I really hope that Mox beats him again.
I think Mox is dropping the belt at Forbidden Door. Personally,
it just feels a bit pointless, doesn't it? If he's dropping it to the person he took it off.
Nah, it's a nice way to kind of build to Forbidden Door, isn't it? It's a bit of cross promotion for both brands. Gibbs
For the-
mocks it.
For the past 10 years, this is what Naito does.
Just
when he
shows
wins
up.
when he wins the title, he doesn't hold it for long, and then he just shows up at the end of a match and goes, "I'm the next challenger," and then does it all again.
Remember
Just
when
a
he did
vicious
it?
cycle.
Remember when Evil won it, and he did that.
Yeah, he just no matter what,
Beat
he's always the
Naito
guy.
for it. Evil held it for a month, and then Naito won it back.
What?
I bet you had the fucking fear when Ospreay won it.
Oh, Jay, fuck me.
At a Stardust playing, and you're like, no!
Yeah. Even though it's a banger of a tune.
It is a banger of a tune. And in the main event, we had the Best of Super Juniors 31 final. El Desperado defeated Taiji Ishimori. Speaking of the more things change, the more they say the same.
Yeah.
Although at least it was Despy winning it and not Hiromu, because fuck me, I was
about to say, it feels like it's been Hiromu forever now.
I think Master Wato won it last year.
Master Wato, I was about to say, I'm sure Master Wato won it last year, and even then we were all like, ugh.
I was deeply disappointed by that fact. Right, and finally, there's a reason I'm glad you're here, Aaron. Should we talk about some grotty deathmatch wrestling?
Yeah, boy.
Have you managed to see this yet, Faye?
Which GCW?
GCW Tournament of Survival.
I have not.
Well, let us tell you.
Lead me through. Go on, talk it down.
Because I thought Tournament of Survival was a really fun show. It might have been because I was drunkenly watching it with you and Brian, but yeah, it was okay.
Still not the best one, but it was good.
No, it wasn't the best one, but it did have its moments. So the opening match had Yuka Ishikawa defeating Ultramantis Black, who is a Shikara alum, who comes out in all like a spooky beetle. He's fucking great.
I heard Tasty being really happy over this.
Yeah, me and Tasty were like probably two of the only people who got really fucking excited for a Shikara legend coming out of fucking retirement. And MLJ was fucking made up. So
GCW's Twitch runs 24/7 and it just shows Shikara matches. It's all it does.
I wonder if Brett bought like the fucking catalogue and not told anyone.
Oh, maybe.
I'd like that. It would explain why a load of random Shikara guys have just started showing up in GCW. Because Hallow Wicked and Frightmare were on as well, a show a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, this was banging. Ultramantis Black had, of course, black light tubes, which had like squidding coming out of them when he was hitting people with them.
Yep.
And yeah, he got murdered. It was lovely, but it's lovely to see him back. He looked better now than he did like 20 years ago when I last saw him wrestle.
I was going to say, it looks jacked as fuck.
He looks fucking massive.
Yeah.
Did he get one of those Mexican steroid tattoos?
He didn't get a tattoo of Judas Messiah's steroids or his birth certificate to show his family tree with Abyss.
Ironically, I did not see his eyes.
He's got no eyes.
He did have like whited out eyes, didn't he?
Yeah.
On his mask. Next up, we had Hideyoshi Kamatana defeating Big fucking Joe, who come out.
For sure.
Big fucking Joe came out dressed as Atsushi Anita, so that's why he lost, because he didn't have a tighty white.
That's why he was wearing jeans. Makes sense, right?
Yeah, because he had a leather jacket on as well, didn't
he? Yeah.
Yeah, this was banging. Lots of crazy fucking spots. Big fucking Joe was absolutely pissing blood. It was one of them with that match because we were all like, "Oh yeah, Big fucking Joe's murdering this guy. He's absolutely fucking winning this."
Yeah, he didn't. It wasn't even
the guy. Didn't the guy just roll him up or something?
Yeah.
It was like, what
did Joe get like fatally wounded again? Because I feel like that's happened to every fucking thing he's been at lately.
He didn't get fatally wounded. He just had a big cut on his head, but not in like.
What makes a difference from his fucking arm?
It wasn't like when we saw him at GCW last year and his arm looked like it was going to get gangrene. Thankfully.
It happens again though at like fucking
it always happens.
Not Thrill Kill, the one before that I went to. Merseyside Massacre. Like,
when he wrestled Emerson.
yeah.
Is that on his leg by any chance? And that's why he's wearing jeans.
So there was a bit of glass in it, right? And it waited so long. He didn't know it was in there that it got infected, and that's what stopped him from going to Japan. He took the glass out and then sold the glass.
Classic.
Yeah.
Good. At least there's a market for that in deathmatch wrestling. Next up, we had Brandon Kirk defeating Shun Katsamata in a DDT deathmatch.
Brandon Kirk was the unsung hero in this tournament.
Brandon Kirk was the fucking MVP of this tournament.
He was fucking
fine,
man.
I remember when he come out and me and you rolled our fucking eyes. Like, Brandon Kirk. And then the first thing he did was Shun Katsamata was doing some stupid shit with a fucking sock puppet because DDT. And Brandon Kirk just like knocked him over, put a light tube in his mouth and kneed him in the back of the head and snapped it. And it was like,
which, by the way, cut his like face.
Yeah, it like
quite
almost
fairly. It
almost gave him a fucking smiley. Like it almost gave him a Glasgow fucking smile, didn't it?
That was fucking rotten. Blood was pissing out his mouth.
It was horrifying. Yeah, Shun was had the last two shows Shun has been in fucking GCW was this one where Brandon Kirk did an actual crime on him. And the DDT one over WrestleMania weekend where Takeshita did actual crime to him.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, there was a lot of fun spots with Lego. Was the finish was the Psycho Driver on all the chairs, wasn't it?
Yep.
Because
that was horrid to watch, but lovely at the same time.
I mean, Brandon Kirk won me over by the fact he's using one of Super Dragon's finishes as his finisher. Like that's brownie points for me. But
it was it took him like a good 2 seconds for his body to actually hit the floor, because in between the move and hitting the floor, there's like 6 chairs, 2 panes of glass, and something else. I can't even remember. It was brutal.
It was fucking wild.
It sounds really upsetting.
It was great.
It was great. That spot with where you need the guy in the back of the head with the fucking light tube in his mouth was like it's lived rent free in my head for the last couple of weeks.
It wasn't a nice knee to the back of the head. It was
horrible. It was as stiff as fuck knee to the back of the head. It was like the guy had fucking just Shummer had potatoed him, and he went, "You little motherfucker, I'm gonna kill you."
He did not get time to put his hands on the floor before his face hit it.
Yeah, and there was a lot of. There was a couple of plastic box bumps as well, which were fun. A lot of other silly shit.
Fucking Faye, they done the most nightmarish thing ever, right? In a tub, in a Lego box, they had Lego and Mega Blocks mixed in together.
Yeah.
That was absolutely disgusting.
The worst thing they could have done.
It was horrid.
If they were real sickos, they would have put gusset plates in there as well. Or razor blades. Speaking of madness, next up we got John Wayne Murdoch coming out, and Broski Jimmy Lloyd said he was the surprise entrant. That didn't last long, did it?
No, because our favourite that we didn't think was our favourite until this show, Slade, decided to come out.
I fucking love Slade. He looks like a fucking low-level Batman villain.
I totally forgot all about Slade until he came out. I was like, "Oh, you bastard, oh, I
remember seeing a death match he had. It wasn't in GCW. I can't remember what it was, but he basically just had a breeze block and he was trying to curb stomp someone onto it. But it wasn't like when Mox was doing it. It wasn't when Mox was doing it in AEW where it was like you could tell it was still a breeze block.
Wasn't it like the day before that or the day after as well?
It was the day before when Mox did it in his match. Slade just did it in a fucking match, but it was like it wasn't like a Mox curb stomp. It was like a fucking Super Dragon curb stomp.
Yeah, it was so
bad. He had his
bad.
arm trapped. I was like, yeah, I like Slade, but he basically come out and murdered John Wayne Murdoch for fucking ages.
Yeah. And then it was a pishy little roll up that John Wayne Murdoch won with.
Well, it was the fact that Slade was no selling everything.
He no sold everything, yeah. That's his character though.
He got
Oh,
put
is
through.
Yeah, he's just a hard bastard that.
He got put through a pane of glass and no sold it.
Yeah, just got straight
Wayne-
back up.
Oh
John
my
Wayne
god.
Murdoch was fucking terrified. Slade was pouring with blood. Like he just had
The top of his head at one point, it looked like he
Was-
was wearing a red wig because it was all trickling down him.
And yeah, basically Slade went to like spear John Wayne Murdoch through a door. John Wayne Murdoch rolled him up and ran to the back, terrified for his
Yeah.
life. And then Slade
God.
threw himself through the door.
Yeah, I forgot about that at the end of the match.
Why has he got like Mike? It sounds like he's got like Michael Myers energy. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
just
I mean, he's billed from Rikers. I think he has literally been in prison.
oh,
He was feuding with Nick Gage he was tagging with Nick Gage for a bit, and then he was feuding with Nick Gage for a bit, and he feuded with Effie for a bit last year, didn't he? And he
he's
retired.
literally just a hench, bald man with chest hair and wears jeans
Yeah.
and boots.
and
That's
that's
his
his
gimmick.
personality
That's
trait.
his personality trait. Yeah,
The thing is, he's got the look that he doesn't need to be a deathmatch wrestler.
yeah.
He's like a legitimate lunatic, so he probably should just be a deathmatch wrestler because it's safer for everyone.
Safer in what way?
And he's in a controlled environment with his toys. Next up, we had a little scramble. I say a scramble. It was a fatal four-way. Don't know why they called it a scramble. Raddy Daddy beating Marcus Mathers, Jordan Oliver, and Alec Price. This was fine. It was okay.
It's the same usual in the middle of the card. Throw people together in a match.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I've just remembered as well. Slade had fucking glass like glued to his hands, didn't he?
Yeah, he had TNFaye tape.
For no reason. He had TNFaye
Yeah.
tape. He just come out and like started punching John Wayne Murdoch with glassy hands.
But it wasn't until like a couple of minutes into the match that we noticed because nobody said anything about it.
Because it was just like,
It was just
oh
like,
my
oh.
God,
It was just there.
Slade's here and he's going to kill John Wayne Murdoch.
Oh,
Next
God.
up,
I'm definitely gonna have to go back and watch this now. Like,
it was genuinely a really good show. And semi-final, we had first of all a Made in Japan death match, which was Yuki Ishikawa against Hideyoshi Kamitana. These were both from Big Japan. I believe Ishikawa lost the Big Japan deathmatch title to Kamitani. Sorry.
speaking of Big Japan, Shreddy's over there at the minute.
Shreddy's in Big Japan. Oh, I hope we get that Shreddy. And yeah, this was fine. This was just they were basically just clotheslining one another with fucking light tubes, weren't they?
Yeah.
It wasn't complete lunacy because they saved that for what I thought was match of the tournament, which was John Wayne Murdoch versus Brandon Kerr, because this was fucking wild. So it was called the Contraptions of Deathmatch.
That sounds worrying. Right off the bat, I'm already concerned.
There was one contraption which was basically like it looked kind of like fencing, didn't it, Aaron? Like crisscross fencing.
Yeah.
And like two bits of that with light tubes through it and other shit through it as well.
It's like the gardening fencing you get that usually put vines through. It was that sort of.
Yeah, it was that, but they put light tubes through it.
Like a lattice fence.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, with light tubes across the two parts. And was that what John Wayne Murdoch destroyed Kirk through, or did Kirk throw him through it?
No, it was Kirk that went through it because he done a weird cell sitting up and then pushing him away and lying back down again.
Yeah, and that wasn't the finish either, because straight after that, Kirk speared John Wayne Murdoch onto a spider web of barbed wire. And I think Kirk took the worst of that as well.
He did, even though it was his spear, because he put his arm behind John Wayne Murdoch. So his arm was
sandwiched between like John Wayne Murdoch
wire
and barbed wire.
Barbed wire,
yeah. There was a lot of glass, a lot of light tubes. Trying to think what else. There was a couple of mad spots, wasn't there?
Don't spoil it for me.
They did another like big chair bridge thing, didn't they?
They love those.
Generally, Brandon Kirk was the
Brandon
MVP.
Kirk. Yeah, I was a bit like, because it's not that I dislike Brandon Kirk. I just don't think he's the best person they've got deathmatch wise. And he went in this with like a point to prove, and he really, really shown up.
Yeah.
After this, we got like a bit of a break while he set up the final. And I'm sure like it was a fever dream or something, because basically Matt Tremont comes out and cuts a promo and honoring Abdullah the Butcher.
Oh no, I don't want to be remembered.
And then Abdullah the Butcher got wheeled out in his wheelchair. And
his wheelchair that's electric, by the way.
Yeah. And
but he got wheeled out.
But he got wheeled
out. They were trying to stab each other with forks.
Him and Matt Tremont just fucking... I love Matt Tremont, but this is fucking awful.
Abdullah the Butcher said Matt Tremont's the best wrestler in the world, which made me laugh.
Essentially.
And they tried to stab each other with forks, and then...
While he's in a wheelchair?
Yeah, even though he's sitting in a wheelchair and can't come out of the wheelchair, yes.
And he's also got hepatitis, so he shouldn't be bleeding anywhere.
Yeah.
Especially in like a really small crowd of people like that. And didn't Nick Gage come out after that? to try and break it all up.
Yeah.
And then it was like, all right, we're ready now. And then the final.
What point have we got to, by the way, where Nick Gage is like the most like he's like the mediator like in GCW? Like,
wait till we talk about the following night. Fuck me.
Speaking of the following night, Aaron, can you get the results up for that? Because I couldn't.
Yeah.
I was looking for it. And then in the final, we had John Wayne Murdoch versus Yuki Ishikawa. As the tradition of the final, they had a big scaffold at the side of the ring, which got used multiple times. So at one point, basically, John Wayne Murdoch got through off it, through like a load of doors and glass. And then at another point, John Wayne Murdoch hit a swinging neck breaker off it through a load of flaming tables. And it was very short because it was mainly just them murdering each other with light tubes. But yeah, it was very good. And John Wayne Murdoch finally wins the Tournament of Survival after like trying so many times.
Yeah, I think this was his fourth.
Yeah.
I think it was his fourth.
He should have. Was it last year? He should have won it when Reno won it. He was in the final last year, wasn't he?
He was in the final, but I think Reno won it so they can have that women's Cage of Survival and then
Reno versus Masha. Yeah.
Blake Christian and Bea Bell at the end of
it.
Boo. Right, and Cage of Survival was next, wasn't it? So the opening
Cage of Survival?
So Cage of Survival this is the third time they've done it. Yep, Cage of Survival for Aaron. Well done.
Well done, Aaron.
Well done. So basically, they always have a big Cage of Survival match on the second night of this weekend, where I say every time, it's only the third time, but it's fine. It's usually the winner of the tournament versus the champion for the title. But this year it was different. It was Effie versus Mance Warner. This was let's be honest, our only rivalry, and it's already went on far too long.
It's been going on for ages, hasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, trust me, we got reminded about how long it went.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, throughout the entire night of Tournament of Survival, it was just recap videos of Effie and Mance Warner. I was like, yeah, I've been watching all of this.
Because I haven't watched GCW for ages, but even I know because it's all over fucking Twitter all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, they've had some good matches in it. It didn't need to go on this long. Like they had a blow-off match around Rumble weekend, which was banging.
Yeah.
And they could have ended it there.
But then also we did get the Cage of Survival match, which was fucking banging. This
I was gonna say this was the best match of the feud, I thought.
Yeah, by quite a bit, I'd say. Basically, Cage of Survival is there's three sides of the cage, and on the hard cam, they've got it resting down like hanging off the apron, because usually they do a spot on it.
But on one side, it was only half of the cage as well, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
on the left hand side, it was
So
only
you
like
can get
half
in.
the
It
cage.
was the doorway. You
So
get
they
in.
could get in and out. Yeah.
Yeah. And basically they just work a match around that. This one, there's a grotty spot where you can see when they first come in the entranceway down the ramp. There's a massive like barbed wire like frame.
It was
Just
the
sitting on the
spider web
outside.
from the
Yeah.
It was a spider web from the match the night before, wasn't it, with Murdoch and Kerr?
So there was lots of barbed wire, lots of glass, lots of screwdriver action. And there was one grotty spot where Warner's on the top where that spider web is in the cage. You forget about that spider web until Effie jumps up, spears him through the cage and into the barbed wire. They were stuck in that barbed wire for a good couple of
Effie
minutes.
was a fucking mess getting pulled out of that. Jesus wept.
They went from the top turnbuckle through the cage to on top of this barbed wire web.
Yeah, like they must have fell like a good 10 feet as well.
It was a good
like
Mance Warner loves a fucking high spot though, doesn't he? As well.
There was a lot of them in this match, to be fair. Effie got put through a flaming door dead early on, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh my god. They basically just said RIP for AEW, but I'm different. Watch all these fire spots.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There was on the front bit of the cage as well. At the very start of the match, they like threw each other over into it, didn't he? And Man's like powerbombed Effie into it.
Yeah.
And there was like a pane of glass on
top of it, yeah.
On top of it, yeah, which you didn't see until like Effie landed on it and exploded.
Yeah. But basically, I got to like the final bit of the match where they were so fucked. They started just asking people to set all the final bits up because they were shattered and sore and fucked.
It went on for almost half an hour.
It was 26 minutes.
26 minutes. And yeah, Mance was basically getting like all the ring crew to build this like contraption at ringside, which was just doors and glass and doors and glass.
Yeah.
They set fire to it, and Effie superplexed Mance through it for the finish.
Wow.
Which was fucking insane. Yeah, really good match. Effie bled buckets. Not that Mance didn't as well, but Effie in particular was
pushing it.
You used to see Mance bleed all the time. Like,
yeah. I mean, Mance Warner like bled in the match against Jordan Oliver once, which was just like completely unwarranted. But like, okay, here we are.
Yeah. You know what? I'd like to see Mance and Mark Briscoe have a match.
That'd be good. That'd be very fun.
After the Cage of Survival, you had a couple of. They were all quite short matches in between. So you had Megan Bain defeated Mike Bailey, it was an alright match. The Garbage Daddies, I hate that I said that. Which is Alec Price and Cole Radrick.
Say it properly, Aaron. The Garbage Daddies.
No, I refuse.
Because he's from Boston.
They're fucking. He is fucking garbage. Defeated. His
hair's garbage.
Defeated Hideyoshi Kamitani and Yuki Shikawa. It was a tag match. It says hardcore here. I don't remember any.
It's probably like one shot.
One chair shot or something.
Yeah.
There's a death match after that, which was Matt Tremont and Big F and Joe. Didn't last long. It did what I needed to do. It was just hit each other with things.
Yeah.
Big F and Joe wore an orange top. That was fun.
Yeah.
And then in the main event, fuck me, this was a weird.
I've not seen this match yet because I saw all of you like having a meltdown on the Discord about it.
There was so much going on.
Yeah.
So it was a gauntlet match. It was two people at a time. It started off Jane. Fuck me. John Wayne Murdoch started it with
Jane Murdoch.
Jane Murdoch.
John Wayne Murdoch versus Casey Catal. John Wayne Murdoch went through. Then Manders came out. Them two had a go, and
I bet
then
that was fun.
do you know what was fun? Fucking John Wayne Murdoch went through, and fucking Micro Man came out.
Yeah. Micro Man, the littlest hoss.
The littlest horse. Fun fact: Micro Man actually beat John Wayne Murdoch, and then and then Micro Man got absolutely murdered by Shane Mercer after that.
Shane Mercer is like fucking crazy jacked.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yep. There was it was a 5-minute match of him and Micro Man at each other. Shane Mercer was just threatening to throw him into the crowd.
He should do like that Wardlow spotted with Marco Stunt, except that like he just throws him into orbit. Like
yeah. Then Jordan Oliver comes out, beats Shane Mercer. And then Charles Mason and Jordan Oliver, I'm pretty sure they went at it for a good 10-15 minutes on their own.
Yeah, 10 minutes looking at cage match.
This is after Shane Mercer absolutely battered Oliver for beating him, so he was bleeding and everything. So Charles Mason eventually beat him, and then it went all crazy. So basically, Matt Cardona comes out going Joey Janela, because Joey Janela got attacked at the start of the show in his hotel room. This was his last chance to win the title. So Matt Cardona went, look, if you don't come out to the count of 10, Charles Mason's going to be your champ. We got to 9, and the fucking bell toll rang, didn't it?
Yeah.
Fucking Nick Gage comes out.
Some fucking days.
What were you saying about Nick Gage, mate?
Saying he was the settled one, but clearly I was wrong. Like,
so Nick Gage and Charles Mason, I'm pretty sure they go for about an hour, 10 minutes as well. They eventually, it was actually
according to Cage Match, because they aren't including the angle, it was only actually 3 minutes.
So basically, Nick Gage beats Charles Mason, so then wins the title. And then Matt Cardona goes, no, we're not doing this. We've got another contender. It's Broski Jimmy. So then Nick Gage and Broski Jimmy have a match. And then Steph DeLander and Matt Cardona cost Nick Gage the match. Jimmy Lloyd wins the title.
Yeah.
And then, fuck me.
Fucking with a different broski.
Oh. And then the next thing that happens is Joey Janela comes out eventually, hobbling it with his music playing. He hobbles it. But then, yeah, he has a match with Broski Jimmy. Joey Janela wins the match. And then the man with the brass ring comes out after Joey Janela winning. Cole Radrick, he goes to hand the ref the brass ring. Steph DeLander knocks him clean out. So he's not actually handed in his brass ring yet. So Joey Janela is celebrating. And then Mance Warner comes out and ruins everyone's mood and wins the title.
oh.
That was a lot of speaking for a whole.
I think I'll just stick with the first night, like that's fine.
Watch Effie versus Mance. It was fucking amazing.
Effie versus Mance was good. That last match, that last 10 minutes of this show was
like 20.
It was a fuck about.
It was sports entertainment.
It was so not GCW. It was weird.
Are you sports entertained?
I for one embrace Mance Warner as my new world champion.
So even though
he's
it was
better than Blake Christian.
So even though it was an 8-man gauntlet, there was technically about 12 people in there.
Yeah, no, thank you.
There was 4 title changes. 4 people won the title in the one night in the space of 5 minutes.
No, thank you.
4 different champions in 5 minutes. Official holders.
So was Charles Mason classed as an official champion?
No, because it never went to 10. Nick Gage. It was Nick Gage, then Jimmy Lloyd, then Joey, and then Mance Warner. There's our 4 champs.
Fair enough. I mean, at least you kind of like in the history books, you've got heel, face, heel, face, heel. So it's not like just a heel to another heel.
But also, Jimmy Lloyd is a former world champion.
Which is sad.
And now he's our internet champion.
You know what was really funny? You know, when he was on the kids show, like before the GCW thing, he was like, I don't know what to do. Like, what do I do on family shows? Like, he was saying to like people in the crowd, he was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Can't swear, can't.
Yeah.
Just decides that just goes under the ring and pulls out a gusset plate like shit.
It's actually
Wait,
just
no, I'm not allowed to swear.
rips open a teddy bear and it just tacks it full out of it.
just do the match that the family friendly death match that Big fucking Joe and Alex Cologne did, where they replaced all the light tubes with balloon animals.
You say that, but I have seen more people bleed on like kids TNT shows than I have like on adult ones half the time. Like, because
That's a fucking lie.
No, the first GC. Do you remember the first GCW, the Ignition show after the first GCW one, and they just used all the doors, didn't get used the night before
On the kids shows.
on the kids show.
Amazing. You love to see it.
Do you want me to quickly run through the card of the Despy Invitational results now?
No, because we've
You
gone
want to
very.
watch it?
I'm gonna go watch that now and also preserve what's left of my voice.
Yeah, good idea.
Tomorrow.
Well, watch the Despy Invitational, guys.
I will do because I want to see Despy versus Pheromones.
Despy's on like 2 matches on that card.
He is, because it's the Despy Invitation. He's
also invited to every match.
He's also said he's going to wrestle Dark Starlight Kid, which yes, please. Anyway, on that note, we're going to wrap it there. Thank you very much for joining us. If you're going to be at Burning Heart, you'll see me and Faye there giving out stickers. If you are
Infamous the next day,
I am not at Infamous the next day because I'm doing something else, but I can't remember what. But I have got plans to do something, but I really need to figure out what it is. Aaron, you're going to be at Clash at the Castle this weekend with Ryan and Courtney.
Yeah, we will be at Clash at the Castle. We will also be at Blockbuster as well on Saturday during the day. Yeah, Saturday during the day. So
Blockbuster, like, is that like a wrestling show, or are you just at a Blockbuster?
No. It's a wrestling show where Courtney is also taking her gear just in case.
Ooh.
Have you got anything coming out?
Not at the minute, but I really should. There is movements to record something next week.
We'll
have something out.
Should we do a retro review as well for next month, me and you?
We could.
And if you want to join us, Faye, you as well.
It's not going to scar me, is it?
We'll find
Probably.
out. We haven't planned on what show it is, but also I need a revenge retro review for what Joe put me through this week. Because I guessed on Hallmark of Greatness, Joe's podcast where he watches shit films. And we watched Little Hercules starring the one and only terrible Terry Bollea, a.k.a. Hulk Hogan, as Zeus. I think it might be the worst film I've ever seen, but if you want to hear me and Joe psychoanalyze that and the high-tech graphics from that 2009 classic, go check it out. It's very fun.
2009, fuck me.
Based it.
I thought you were going to shout 90s at me. 2009.
Oh, no. The special effects are like from 1996. It's like they spent the budget on Hogan.
Sounds about right.
And a brief cameo from Elliot Gould. But yeah, it's an absolute fever dream. Don't watch the film. Listen to me and Joe do it. As always, thank you for joining us. Like, share, subscribe, all that lovely stuff. And we will catch you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.